Please read the disclaimer. XRP breaking news. It finally happened. It closed. Yes, the CME gap closed. What does this mean for the crypto market? What does this mean for XRP? We're going to talk about all that. Plus, things with Japan are getting very interesting. Japan economic stimulus, but on the other hand, Japan, China, maybe doing some shenanigans there. We'll talk about that, how that could be affecting the market as well. And of course, we have the financial data, we have updates on the stimulus, and we have, of course, the new XRP ETF that is coming very soon. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button and let's get into it. So we have to start out with the big news. Yes, it happened. The CME gap closed after 6 months of waiting, anticipating, hoping that it wouldn't happen, right? We talked about it maybe like 20 or 30 times. Every single time the market got a little bit hot, I kept saying, hey, listen, I always have the monkey on my shoulder, this CME gap, right? And what happened in the end? Bitcoin pulled back, closed the gap, and now the monkey, it's gone, right? There's other monkeys. The cute monkey's gone. Or was it like an evil monkey? It's gone. And now we'll see what happens with the market. Remember, last time we had this old gap that was closed, the market pulled back a little bit after that. It continued, right? So we had the gap here. It closed. It didn't actually close the whole way, but eventually it closed and it rallied off of that, but then it pulled back and then made another rally. So what will happen this time around that the gap is closed? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people are giving very negative predictions right now and saying we could go to 70,000, 60,000 and things like that. It's funny because if you remember, I think about this day a lot, the day that was here at the peak that was predicted by the 4-year cycle to be the peak, right? By history has told us around 500 and something days, and that was the day, right? And it, for now, was the peak of the cycle. And so I think about that a lot. What could have been if I would have done certain actions at this day. But it's not good to think too much and contemplate too much about what happened in the past. I'm trying to be better about that, not thinking about my wins and losses and more thinking about what I can do in the future to be better and to trade better and to invest better. But this is, again, just my opinions, what I am thinking, what I am seeing. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. By the way, if you haven't yet joined the free and open Telegram group, now is the time to do so. Already, we have 400 people in the group, so it's growing day by day. And I'm thinking about maybe doing something for the people in the group, something special. So we'll see. Because listen, we get like maybe 20,000, 30,000 views a day, right? We can get at least a few thousand people in this group. It's open. We'll have some fun there, and do things a little bit different, right? So again, if you're interested, link is in description down below. Again, it's open, free to everybody. We have to try to get the scammers and the imposters out of the group, but that's, a different story. Also, remember, I will never contact you on social media. I'm not befriending you. I'm not sending you DMs. I'm not doing anything like that. Those are scammers. Those are imposters. I've been working with, you know what? I'll tell you later what I've been doing in a later date. But we're moving towards to removing some of them. Hopefully, more don't pop up. But that's the situation that we live in here right now. So we have to embrace it and deal with it, and also brush it off our shoulders. Okay. If we look at XRP, of course, XRP is moving with the market, right? Bitcoin down 2.5%, Ethereum down 2.7, Sol down 5%, Doge down 4%, XRP down minus 3.2%. Um, it's if Bitcoin is at the lowest point of the cycle and Ethereum is at the lowest point, since it's ran up here, XRP is, basically back to where we were a week or two ago when we then rallied. From that time, from that low, about 26, 25%. It will be interesting to see what happens here in the next coming days. We do have the news coming from Japan, which I think could be putting some pressure. There's a lot of things right now that are putting pressure on the markets. Not just the crypto market, stock market also ended up in the red today. You can see, although the Nasdaq recovered a little bit toward the end of the day, but around 1% for all the indexes. You can see here Bitcoin slide continues with self-fulfilling prophecy and focus, of course, of closing the gap. We have a situation where in Japan, that the financial situation isn't that great. They have a new prime minister, and she's starting stuff with China. We'll see what happens with that. But they also are announcing that they are going to be stimulating the economy, and the 20-year government bond yield surged to the highest level in history. That's an interesting situation. We'll see what happens with the Japan carry trade. If that was potentially going to unravel, what's going to happen now with the stimulus? Will money come into the crypto market? Will it not come into the crypto market from this $110 billion? So again, that's something that is very interesting, and we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, in the next coming weeks. President Trump announced the 2000 tariff stimulus checks will be distributed by middle of 2026. So to everybody that was hoping that they would happen, today, tomorrow, the next day, well, that's not happening for the time being. And if it does stimulate the crypto market again, it's going to happen at a later date in mid 2026. A lot of people are anticipating, and Raul Paul and others have said that they think that maybe the banana zone will be in the first quarter of 2026. We'll see. We're almost over with November. The month flew by so fast. I've been already at home a month since I was on my vacation, not the forced vacation, but the regular vacation in Singapore, of course, in Thailand. And the time is just flown by since we've been back. When you get back to your regular schedule, things go by very, very fast. And so potentially we'll see what happens here. With that, again, the Supreme Court could mess everything up in this sense, where they say, hey, the tariffs, the president used the I forgot what it's called, extreme like measures that you can only do it in the extreme time, something like that. And he used that stipulation, and it's not clear if it's legal or not legal. So we'll see what happens with that, with the president and with the Supreme Court. That will be very interesting, of course, and that's creating, again, uncertainty. Uncertainty creates fear, creates sell-offs. And so we'll see. How low can Bitcoin go? That's going to be the question. And will it, pull the rest of the market with it? The dominance is still at 60. So the dominance is still very high, meaning that Bitcoin is still holding relevant to the altcoin market. Altcoins are selling off, and Bitcoin is selling off too, but just at a lower level, right? Again, liquidations and higher leverage and things like that are the reasons why that happens. Actually, before that, BlackRock IBIT has recorded its biggest, well, it's a record too, its biggest one-day outflow in history, with 463 million of outflow. Makes sense, right? When you have a situation like this and the price of Bitcoin is pulling back very, very aggressively, and in the past year or so, we haven't seen Bitcoin move like this so aggressively in 2 weeks, right? So in 2 weeks, it's pulled back about 22%. Outside of, again, this candle, which it dropped 16%, but that was an anomaly. Usually, if we do see a pullback, it's more around the 10%, somewhere around that, and then it recovers off of that. We did see this, pullback here. That was a couple of months because of tariffs and everything that happened, where it did drop 30%, but that was more of a 4-month movement. Here it's about 2 weeks, very aggressive move. So again, that when you have a situation like that, people that maybe invested through the ETFs are now reducing a little bit the um, what's the word? My mind just blanked out. The risk. This is what happens when you make the videos in not your native tongue, or this tongue that you speak most of the day. You forget words. We do have a silver lining here. Franklin Templeton Spot XRP ETF will launch tomorrow. So again, another ETF for XRP. And this is from a big dog, right? From Franklin Templeton, one of the biggest out there. And so it will be very interesting to see how successful is it after the Canary Capital one was pretty successful, right? But we'll see, if this Franklin Templeton is successful, or will it, suck all the volume off of the Canary one, or we see both of them have some nice volumes. Again, we're interested in more sustainable volumes, not one-off days, one good day, and then nothing. But I guess it depends on the price action and the price momentum and things like that. Of course, as always, that creates you know FOMO and things like that, and then you see higher inflows potentially. But it will be very interesting to see how the next few days play out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notifications about new videos that drop. Don't forget to check out the links in the description down below. Join our free Telegram group open to everybody. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond. And the easiest way to support the channel is to just smash that like button. Again, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. This video was for educational and entertainment purposes only. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.